2.4 degrees. Temperature is going up. It was 2.3 about 2 minutes ago when I did my last video. Okay, so welcome to this next video about my shipping container house. In my last one I've just quickly talking about how I've done this frame, and now I have done a little bit of the insulation. It's a bit of a tip in here, so we'll have a look at that now. I do apologise, it's quite dark. I've got a head torch on, but it's probably not going to help. So yeah, what I've used, I'll come down to this end so we can see a little bit better. The lighting's not great. I'll just pause here and turn the phone light on 1 sec. Okay, that's a bit better. What I've used here, this is 100% sheep's wool insulation. It's pretty expensive. If you're trying to build a shipping container house on the super cheap, this is probably not the way to go. But I wanted to make the whole thing as environmentally friendly as possible. Another bonus is it's really nice to touch. You know, the fiberglass kind of insulation is really nasty stuff. You won't want to be breathing it in or touching it or anything like that. This stuff's great. It's really easy to work with. I think the way they've sort of made it is sort of in folds. So if I ripped into there, I could probably rip it across this line. Makes it quite easy to cut to length. Well, you don't even need to cut it. You can just kind of rip it. It's strong enough that it's not going to fall apart. But yeah, I think it should work pretty well. This is 100mm insulation. Obviously, it bumps up in the middle where the sort of corrugation of the container is, and then I'm going to be cladding it with this stuff. I've got a couple of ones up on the roof, and it pushes it back a little bit, and it sits flush with the two bits of frame there. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of it in. It's took quite a while, quite a steep learning curve. Most important bit is the roof, really, so that's what I'm cracking on with today. I've got that bit in, and then I've got the massive bags, unfortunately big plastic bags, to get on with today, to get them put up on the roof. Sort of improvise some sort of frame things to hold it up, and then I'll get all the insulation up and I'll put the cladding in afterwards. So yeah, that's where we're currently at. What I've done for behind the, you can see there's a bit of a gap just behind there. If you rip off just like one or two of these, you know, seeing how it rips. If you rip off sort of two together off one of the offcuts that I've got plenty of offcuts down there, which should be really handy for other things like insulating my fridge and stuff like that. If you rip those off into strips, you can they fit perfectly just behind here, so you get a little bit, you don't end up with any air gaps, so you can fit them just down the back. The stuff I'm using on the roof, I can just step over all the junk. This stuff is 150mm thick. For the thickness, it is a better insulator than rock wool or fiberglass or whatever all the house stuff is. So it will actually pack in a bit better R value than one of those other types of insulation for the thickness. Obviously, it's not going to insulate as well as that solid foam board you can get, but that stuff is not particularly environmentally friendly. So that was the first goal, really. Try and make it as sustainable as possible. I think you can't get much more sustainable than 100% sheep's wool for insulation. So you can see this is one strip up there. Not strip, more roll. It's quite handy that what I did with these frame points, where I did them to the floor, I put that where there's one of the corrugations bumping out, goes in, out, in, another one there, and exactly centred on that. And it turns out that distance is 560mm between these two, and this stuff comes in 570mm wide rolls. So I'm assuming that distance must be some sort of standard in house framing. I don't know, I might have just accidentally fluked across it. But it works out really well. It should be good when I start getting the cladding up, start and figure out a few ways to do that. And obviously around the door it'll be a little bit trickier. There's a little bit up there, and then these corner points, obviously there's going to be a cladding to there. They're quite full, but I'm getting quite a bit of offcuts, so I can probably stuff those full. I've lowered that piece of wood there so I can still have access to the vent. I'll put some sort of fan vent system in there at some point. But all's going well so far. Hopefully I'll have an update for you soon where I can start well, finish off the insulation and start putting the cladding up. So thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for my next videos, and I'll keep you updated with what's going on with my shipping container house project. Thank you very much for watching. Bye now.